The following interview is brought to you by local State Farm agent Chris Beddick. Call Chris at 724-532-2100 or visit his website at www.chrisbeddick.com. A good neighbor with great auto rates. That's your local State Farm agent, Chris Beddick. Welcome back to the Wildcats Network for this playoff preview. I'm now joined by Greater Latrobe head coach Ron Prady ahead of their first round playoff game against the Bethel Park Blackhawks. Coach, I know the expectations maybe were a little bit high this year, but the expectation overall for your team was to get back to the playoffs this year for the third year in a row. And at one point in the season, it didn't look like that was going to happen. But what would you say about the team overcoming the adversity in order to get back to the playoffs for the third year in a row?
Yeah, I mean it's a great bunch of guys that we had and still have high expectations for our team and for our program, and these guys have had a huge role in I think growing our program the last 3 years. But we're going to enjoy this ride, and we're going to try to take it 1 week at a time now and try to get a win at Bethel Park. But I can't say enough about the resilience of our guys and the heart and the way they fought, especially these last couple games.
And over the past two games, both against Gateway and against Penn Trafford, it seemed like you got some of the things back that worked really well for you guys over the past 2+ years. You ran the ball effectively at times, and you ended up getting splash plays both on offense and defense via the passing game and some takeaways. And I feel like that was what was missing when we talked over the weeks from your 3-game losing streak during the middle part of this year. So what confidence does it give you now that you are trying to find those winning ingredients and those fundamental ingredients back, trying to find that back in your formula?
Well, I think for us, going into these playoffs, we're the underdog again. We seem to embrace that role the past few years, and we're certainly going to embrace it this year going to Bethel Park. But we just have to play better football against a really good team. Bethel's as good as anybody in 5A. They could have easily been 10-0, lost 2 close games. So it's going to take our best effort, us creating some turnovers and eliminating them on offense to be in this game and have a chance to win in the fourth quarter. But that's the goal.
And over the past 2 games against the Gators and the Warriors, Andy Tash has really stood out. He's provided the splash plays both in the passing game for a weapon for John, and he had the pick 6 against Penn Trafford. What would you say about his ability to kind of become a focal point of production, not just necessarily in the stats, but as far as scoring as well, and becoming a leader in that regard?
Well, I think it probably has to do a lot with Andy's confidence. He's grown. He's a 2-year starter now, started as a sophomore, now as a junior. But I've seen his confidence and his just that little bit of extra to his game the last couple weeks, especially. Even before Gateway, he was playing well. But he looks more explosive to me on both sides of the ball. His tackling has improved a ton from last year to this year. His things that people don't see is him making calls and checks on the defensive end that he does and has embraced that role. I just think he's grown up a ton, and I look forward to seeing how he looks next year at this time. If we get the same improvement out of him from his junior to sophomore year as we did from sophomore to junior, I think we're going to see big things out of Andy.
And you mentioned a couple weeks back that you pretty much had to treat the final 2 to 3 weeks of your season as playoff games, in addition to facing the adversity that you did throughout the entire year. I'm just curious if you feel your team is, in a sense, battle-tested through this, knowing that this is what we had to go through the past couple of weeks, and it's not going to change this week against a really good Bethel Park team.
Yeah, I mean, we had to win. We felt like if we won the last 2 games we were in, and I'm pretty sure that was the case. We thought even with a loss this weekend, after the game, we thought we could still get in. And obviously the committee thought we did enough to get in. We beat a really good Gateway team on the road, and then to play Penn Trafford the way we did. It wasn't perfect by any means, but it was a physical battle and it was a tight game. It was tight to the very end. I think that probably spoke to the committee as far as putting us in over Kiski and Gateway.
And ahead of your game against the Blackhawks tonight, in the first round of the 5A playoffs, what will you have to do in order to contain their high-flying offense and give yourselves the best chance at an upset round one?
I think the best thing would be to control the ball on offense and keep it away from them as much as possible. They have some really explosive guys. The number one at the receiver position, number 6, their running back is really good. And the quarterback makes everything go for them. The less they have it, the better our chances. If we give up big plays over top, it's going to be tough. So again, it's always the strategy. The hope is to eliminate big plays and make them keep snapping the ball when they do have it. But those are going to be, I think, a ball control offense, shorten the game, limit their possessions, I think is the best way for us to have a chance.
Coach, as always, thank you and best of luck against Bethel Park.
Thank you, Rich.